Some people work out. Some people binge watch shows. Other people do drugs. I just watch TikTok.
Whoa. Some people work out. Some people binge watch shows. Some people do drugs. And then there's people that watch TikTok.
Uh-huh.
So like, just let us know what category you guys fall into, I guess. Hey baddies, what the fuck is good? It's your favorite bitches, Abby and Shannon with Drinks After Work. Welcome back.
Well, we have an aggressive intro.
It's an aggressive. You know why? Because usually we release our episodes on Wednesdays. This week we're releasing on Thursday. I feel like people are a little bit more like edgy and sassy on Thursdays. So I was like, I'll give the people what they want.
Awesome. Okay. Well, if you're new here, welcome. Follow us on Instagram while you're at it. It's at drinksafterwork_. There's a link in our bio. You can find everything that you need to stay up to date with us and listen to us on other platforms. And if you are coming back again for another week, thank you so much. We sincerely appreciate you.
Yes, thank you. We've honestly been getting so many cute messages lately of girls reaching out to us that are like, this podcast helps me get through the week, etc. So we really appreciate all the kind words. Thank you to everyone that's been here for a while now supporting us, and to those of you that are new, welcome, and we're sorry.
I really wouldn't be exaggerating if I say I probably cry once per week when we see like a nice message pop up on my phone.
I know, it's cute.
I literally show Mystery and I'm like, look.
Wait, we were talking about this last week because we were like...
Because I'm confused by people like us.
Yeah, and then last week we were talking because we were like, in the very beginning, we used to have like a shitty... Like, I mean, let's be honest. Like, some episodes are going to be better than others. It's just the way that the cookie crumbles. Abby and I work during the week, or during the day. So sometimes you get out of work and your boss yelled at you and then you have to record. And
sometimes your life is falling apart and you have to like, put on your big girl panties and still go into the studio and put on a fake smile. And not every week is going to be good.
Exactly. But we were saying in the beginning when we first started, we were like, we knew that no one was listening. So
yeah, now people listen.
If we have a bad episode, like who the hell cares? And then like now we were talking, we were like, wait, people are listening. So like we kind of feel like shitty if we leave and we have a bad episode. Now I like just start crying and I fall into like a depression shame spiral. But I know it's okay.
When we left the studio last week, I was like, well, it was nice while it lasted.
We have to, one of these days we're gonna get on like a really good groove where we put out like 2 good episodos in a row. It's gonna happen. No, I feel like it will.
I think it's tradition that if we post a good episode, the next one is absolutely going to be shit.
All right. That's
so if you enjoyed this week's episode, don't come back next week. Come back the week after.
No, our curse is ending. It's going to be lifted. Okay. Only good episodes from here on out.
Positivity. I love that for us.
So we've had a pretty fun week so far. The boyfriend that we both have, Mystery Man,
Excuse me?
It was his birthday, so... I didn't get invited to you guys' dinner, which I thought was a little rude, but like...
Oh, you didn't?
How was it?
Don't worry, you're invited to plenty more festivities.
I know.
Honestly, I'm not gonna lie, this might be an unpopular opinion, but I think Mastro's, that's where I took him for dinner. He said that he wanted to go to a steakhouse, and there's quite literally like a million in Boston, and I happened to choose A, the most expensive, and B...
Yeah, I love Mastro's.
Okay, first of all, it took us 30 minutes to get a drink.
Oh.
We ordered our bottle of wine like right away, and it literally took 30 minutes to get anything on our table.
Was it busy?
I mean, it was a Tuesday night.
Yeah.
How busy could it be? I mean, yeah, it was busy, but I mean, it wasn't that busy. So I don't know. I feel like... I got salmon. It was very much average at best. He loved his steak. He loved the appetizer that we got. He had a great meal. We got a couple sides. Those were good. But like, honestly, it's overrated in my book. And I honestly would probably try a different steakhouse before deciding if I'd go back.
I'm just like laughing in general at the fact that you're like, I'd probably try another steakhouse. I'm like, you're a vegetarian. Like, you probably shouldn't be trying any steakhouses.
I know, but you can always bet on there being a salmon at every steakhouse. And that's the only thing that I eat that's an animal. So
it's just funny, like you giving a review on a steak place, because like there's never a world in which like you would review the actual steak.
Okay, well, the service was really slow.
Okay, the service. There we go.
I mean, he did like his steak, but I don't know.
But that doesn't matter right now.
No.
I feel like, 30 minutes for drinks, because if I get my drink and like, I know at Del Frisco's, they tell you, they're like, when you order the steak, it's gonna be like 45 minutes because we, I don't know, fucking kill the cow, prepare it, whatever.
It's still mooing.
In that moment, like after you order it. So they tell you that, but they keep the drinks flowing. So like if I have 2-3 drinks and then my steak gets there, like I don't really care. But like if you're sitting there just like sober staring at each other, trying to force a conversation, it's no fun.
I mean, that wasn't the case, but like it was just like insane. Like just to get wine on the table took 30 minutes. I thought that was kind of unacceptable.
Wild.
And just to get bread too. Like we ordered bread and an appetizer and it took longer than 30 minutes, but whatever. It was a great dinner, and the party doesn't stop there. We're going to the Grand this weekend, as you know.
Woohoo!
You'll be there.
I know. I'm excited.
So if you guys see us, come say hi.
Like cartwheel around.
You said you're gonna wear pants, so you can do that.
I'm gonna lick the floor.
Oh, I don't recommend.
Yeah, I feel like that's how people spread COVID.
That's how you get COVID.
Yeah, that's not good. I will not lick the floor. I'm excited. Like I'm happy. We're gonna sneak in this Grand appearance before like the world goes to shit again. It's gonna be fun,
dude. It's literally, I don't even want to talk about COVID because it just makes me upset,
let's not talk about it. Let's do this cute thing. It could be the
last Grand for a while.
Let's do this cute thing where we don't talk about it, because or else my crippling anxiety will just come back.
Fair. Okay, let's dive in to drunk deeds. What do you got?
Let's drive in. Okay, so one drunk deed that I know you don't give a shit about, but I was really excited to talk about. Pretty much anyone with a Netflix membership or Instagram knows season 2 of Outer Banks was officially released on this past Friday. So it's been out for just under a week now, and obviously number 1 on Netflix. Everyone's freaking out about it. And I usually like to, so like I'll like when Madeline Klein posts, Madeline Klein, like the main girl, Sarah Cameron, when she posts on Instagram, like I'm like, I don't have a Twitter, so I go through people's comments, and that's like my version of Twitter. Like I get updated on like what people are fighting about, but I have to be careful about doing that because people put spoilers in there. I'm only on episode like 5, I think, so I haven't watched the whole thing, and like that's on purpose because I've been trying to like savor it. Because I hate when like a season comes out.
You never finish anything. I feel
well, with this I do, because like you're watching one season at a time. But like the season came out, season 2, and like I woke up at like 6 a.m. the next day. It came out on Friday, and everyone was like, "Oh my god, just watch the whole thing." But I'm like, and now they're like, "Well, when's season 3 coming?" And I'm like, just enjoy it a little bit, because it's over.
Yeah, once you binge, you have to wait like another year.
Exactly.
I see that. Yeah,
but
I guess I know. I don't understand the hype. I mean, can we agree that the acting is horrible? They could have done better.
So a lot of people say the acting is horrible. It's really funny because I think I'm very bad at picking up on bad actors. Like I'll be watching with Michael. He's like, that's a bad actor. That's a bad actor. And I'm like, oh, really? Like I don't even notice. It's so, if someone's very bad, I'll notice.
It's bad acting?
For the most part, yeah. Like, so the main bad guy.
Is that John B? That's the only guy
John B's like the heartthrob. The like Sarah Cameron's dad.
Could be bad boys.
Yeah, but he's supposed to be.
He's a good boy.
There's like the kooks and the pogues. The kooks are like the rich assholes. The pogues are like
a kook.
That's what they call them on the Outer Banks. Yeah, so like the kooks are like the rich assholes who have like 4 houses, and then the pogues are like the people that like work on the island, like the poor people, and like you love like the pogues. So John B's like a pogue, like shit doesn't go his way, but he's like a good guy. He's obviously hot, whatever. So Sarah, she's like the main character, and she's like the rich girl, but she ends up like dating John B. Her dad's like the bad guy. He's a good actor. And then there's like a few people in there that you're like, oh, this person is decent. I actually think the girl, Madeline Klein, I think she's a pretty good actress. Yeah. So a few of them are good, but there are definitely some that like people are like, it's horrible acting.
I've seen like clips of it because one of Mr. Man's roommates watches it, so it'll be like on in the living room, and there was just like this one scene, I don't know who, some guys I think allergic to bees. Oh shit, you don't like bees? I forgot.
I haven't watched that scene yet. Oh god, but now I'm like not gonna want to watch it anymore.
It might have been a bee, I don't really know, I forget, but it was, the whole thing was just so much more dramatic than it needs to be. But like also I felt like it was like wicked unrealistic, like the whole plot, and I'm like,
it is, but like it's almost so unrealistic that it's like more of like a fantasy type show than it is like real, I would argue, because you watch the first 2 episodes and you're like, oh, it's like a classic like teen drama, but then within like 4 episodes it's like escalated to a point where like, you know, this person like gets shot and you think they're gonna go to jail, and then a helicopter comes in and then this person jumps out of nowhere and like takes them and like brainwashes them, and you're like, what the fuck is going on? But it moves very fast to the point where you can't stop. Like if you started watching it, you wouldn't be able to stop, because like every episode's a cliffhanger. Every episode, like something insane is happening, and it just like moves very, very fast. So it's like hard to get bored of it. If that makes sense.
That's how I feel about the show Manifest. Have you heard of it?
I saw that on Netflix and I was gonna start watching it, but I didn't know if it was scary, so I didn't.
No, I don't think it's scary. It's like suspenseful, and so Mystery Man started watching it without me, and so
I was gonna say, you don't really watch shows.
No, I don't watch shows, but like he'll sometimes watch it when I'm around, and I just like stay quiet because I don't care about it, and I ask too many questions. But
he's like, write down your questions. We'll go over later. Them after the show.
Yeah. But when I first started watching, I was like, oh, this show sucks. Like I would just like tune it out, like not pay attention. And then there was this one episode where I was like, oh shit, that's insane. I was like,
it was like a twist, like shit got real.
Yeah. And then like there was a cliffhanger at the very end of the episode, and I was like, let's watch the next one. And he was like, what? And I was like, yeah, I still don't really know what's going on, but like I follow enough. But
so I like try to intentionally, I mean, you've seen my Netflix. I watch the same 4 shows over and over. Like I have Gossip Girl, New Girl, Downton Abbey. Like there's like 4 shows on there. And it's intentional because this is gonna sound so stupid, but like I get it. Like watching TV is like fun, but it's also like kind of a waste of time. That's probably like a weird thing to say, but like whenever I like get really into a show, I get home from work and I like put the TV on, and like I'm watching that till fucking 4 a.m. Like I get addicted. I'm like, I have to keep watching and I have to know what happens. And all of a sudden I'm like feeling wicked guilty, and then I'm canceling my bar class in the morning, and then I'm sleeping in, not getting to do my makeup, and I'm like, shit. So
all for John B.
Yeah, and then I'm like, oh, like you look back like 3 weeks later when you're done binge watching the show, and you're like, what did I actually just gain from that? And then I'm like, I could have been like, I don't know, focusing on like other things, or like editing or whatever else there is to do, or going for like a walk. I don't know.
I know, I agree, and that's why I don't really watch a lot of TV.
I try like not to on purpose. Yeah,
I feel like there's better things to do with your time, but I get it. It's like an escape. It's nice
fun.
To relax,
especially during COVID.
Some people work out, some people binge watch shows, other people do drugs. I just watch TikTok.
Whoa. Some people work out, some people binge watch shows, some people do drugs, and then there's people that watch TikTok. So like, just let us know what category you guys fall into, I guess.
They're all equally not healthy for you.
Oh my God.
Oh no, working out is healthy. I take that back. Okay, moving on. Okay, I don't know. Scarlett Johansson?
Scarlett Johansson, Abigail. Scarlett Johansson. So
she a big A-lister, B-lister?
Yes. What do you mean? You have to.
What is she in other than Black Widow?
Stop. She's like one of like the prettiest people like in the world.
Okay, but that doesn't tell me what other
you should know who she is. I'm gonna look her up and show you, because you're gonna be like, oh, her. It's like very.
You would be surprised.
Johansson
or Jonathan?
Johansson.
That's not how her name looks.
Well, that's what it is. It's her. Like she's. You've seen her before. She's in a ton of movies.
She looks familiar. Can you name another thing that she's in?
She's in career. Like how, like He's Just Not That Into You.
Really?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
She's in a bunch. She's in all those like Marvel movies too. She plays.
Yeah, I'm not really into the superhero film thing.
I know, but she's like in everything. Like it's okay. Anyways, Avengers, Lucy, Under the Sun. I don't know, whatever.
I haven't seen any of those. Anyways, she is suing Disney over the highly anticipated superhero film that I don't know anything about, Black Widow.
Yes. So this has been on headlines for a while now, so I'm sure most people listening to this have heard some version of the story. So essentially what happened was she, created this movie, Black Widow. She's the star in it, and she was in a bunch of Avengers movies, and she was finally going to get her own, which is like obviously huge, just like so many of the other superheroes have over the years. So they promised her that they would put a window of time where they would put the Black Widow out to theaters before releasing it onto Disney Plus. So in her contract, she says that there was a percentage of the box office sales that were going to go to her when putting it on into theaters. So obviously, like the way that Marvel and like Disney or whatever works is they can decide where they want to release, movies to these days now that we have all these like weird ass streaming platforms. So they're like, okay, we can, release it to theaters for 2 weeks before we put it onto Disney Plus. Because if they put it on Disney Plus right away, there's a lot of people that are going to be like, well, instead of going to the theaters, I'm just going to sit at home and watch it in the comfort of my own living room and just
they're
whatever.
Sneaky.
So she says they put that in her contract. And what ended up happening was on July 9th, the movie was released on Disney Plus and in theaters the very same day. So she's pissed, and right now she's currently suing Marvel for basically breaching her contract and lying to her and kind of leading her down the wrong direction. And just to put it into perspective, so $80 million was like the opening in theaters like amount of money that they made on opening day
for the box sale,
for box, yeah,
whatever it's called.
Yeah, exactly. So 80 million in theaters the opening day, and then 60 million globally on Disney Plus the first day. So she lost like a big chunk of money because of the fact that they decided they were going to put it on Disney Plus right away.
Yeah, that is shady. I guess Disney's response wasn't very too kind. I heard there's a lot of like she's not taking into consideration the global pandemic. Like she's still making $20 million. I don't fucking know.
She's not taking into consideration the global pandemic because she's mad her contract was breached.
Yeah, I guess the film was delayed multiple times because of the pandemic. It was originally supposed to be released in May of 2020, and then I don't know, maybe because the theaters were shut down, they waited. I mean, honestly, I feel like movie theaters are having a hard comeback since the pandemic. Like no one's really going. I mean, I haven't been. I don't remember the last time I was at a movie theater, period. But I mean, clearly people are still going because they did get some sales.
Yeah.
But I mean, I think Marvel's the biggest blockbuster brand in all of Hollywood. Like they can afford to pay her what she deserves.
Yes. Also, the fact that they had the audacity to blame the pandemic and be like, she's not being sensitive and like our date was pushed back. It's like the only person I feel bad for in that scenario is the movie theaters. Like if you want me to sit here and feel bad for Marvel or Disney, like you can go fuck yourself. Like that's the stupidest shit I've ever heard. They've been making money the entire pandemic because they've decided to expand into things like Disney Plus. So they're making just as much money as they ever have, if not more, because they don't have to pay the movie theaters royalties or however that works. I'm sure they're making out like bandits. They've probably profited off of the pandemic. So for them to use that as an excuse is just like, to me, disgusting. Like I hate when large corporations try to like pull on people's heartstrings and be like, well, she's not considering the pandemic and like there's a lot of people that have been affected. It's like, go fuck yourself.
Yeah.
Like, you're an idiot.
I know. And they are, I don't know if it was her agent or her lawyer, but they said like I think they're probably going to try to sue for, I think like, what is
sue
it?
Her?
No, like they're going to like sue Disney for, what is it called? Like character and defamation. Yeah.
Who is Marvel or Scarlett is?
Scarlett's gonna come for Disney because they're like her agent claimed that like they're attacking her character, making her appear to be someone that she's not, and like basically using like the fact that she did get paid $20 million as like a weapon, as in to like be like, no, she's already got paid this much. Like, but it's like, no, like I feel like if this was like a guy superhero film, like this wouldn't be an issue. I feel like they would have never done that to her. I feel like,
I'm not gonna lie, like in a really weird, like messed up way. So not even because she was a woman, but just when I initially heard this news before looking into the details, there was a part of me because I was like, all I heard was, oh, Scarlett Johansson's suing Marvel because they like pushed the release date. Like I heard it, when you hear something from like a friend and it's like the incorrect information. I remember being like, I was like, get over yourself, Scarlett Johansson. Like you're already making a ton of money. Like that was my initial reaction. But then after doing more research, I realized like my reaction was completely wrong. And I do think that like, yes, she's making a ton of money, but that doesn't mean that you can go and just like do whatever the hell you want and make promises that you don't keep. And ultimately, like it's very obvious that Marvel and that Disney did this to make themselves more money.
Right.
So I'd rather the movie star make the money than the freaking like asshole corporations behind it. So yeah, that makes me so annoyed.
I'm definitely interested to see how it pans out. I hope it is in her favor.
Yeah. And then last thing, so this isn't really a drunk deed, just like a fun little like local update. So right now in Boston, you guys might be seeing movie theater crews kind of hobbling around, prancing around. So they are filming a HBO Max TV show about Julia Child in Boston. So if you guys like see film trucks and stuff, that's what it's for.
Explain to the people who that is, because I didn't know who that was until today.
She's like an icon. She brought a lot of like French culture, like cooking and all of that to the US. That's literally all I know. So I'm sorry that I don't know more. Peter, do you know any more?
Well, they made another movie about her, right?
Yeah, I feel like they've made
other. Love, is that it?
Is that about Julia Child?
Is that her?
There's one where there's
I know
this girl that like recreates Julia Child's cookbook. Like she makes every recipe that Julia Child put in.
Okay. Well, Eat Pray Love is the one with Julia Roberts where she goes to like Bali and then like Spain and
okay. Then I'm thinking of something else.
Okay.
I don't know who this girl is.
Well, she's like a huge icon, so
she's dead.
Yeah, she's definitely not living. Abby, what the hell?
She's deceased. I don't know. Just throwing it out there.
Okay, so we can confirm
she died of kidney failure. I googled it.
That's all you googled. You didn't Google who she was. You just googled that what she died from.
I just googled
that's
Julia
dark.
Child, and that's what came up.
Are we being like dark and like creepy today? I feel like we're in a creepy.
I'm always dark and creepy.
We're super creepy.
All right. Well, I guess they were spotted at the Beehive. So who knows where else they'll be bopping around.
I love the Beehive.
Yeah, underrated.
Especially like that is underrated. The live jazz music. Honestly, if you're new to the Boston area and you're looking for places to go out for dinner and drinks, just go to the South End. Honestly, walk around there. Every place I've ever been in the South End has amazing food, amazing drinks, good vibes. So
I agree. Speaking of drinks, we got drinks after work the other night.
Oh baby, look at that transition.
I know. It's so funny because Shannon and I were planning to get drinks after work, and she ended up like recommending this restaurant, and I was like, wait, oh my god, I literally just booked a reservation there like the other week for my boss, and like he loved it. And I remember when I booked it, I was admiring how beautiful like the inside was.
Oh yes.
So when you said that, bells are going off in my head. I was like, absolutely yes, like let's go. And I'm so glad that we did.
It's honestly my favorite bar, and like they took kind of a hiatus during COVID, like for a while, because it's like attached to a hotel almost, but it's like the Oak Room,
the Fairmont Copley Plaza Hotel.
Yeah, the Fairmont Copley is like right next to it. It's like the Oak Room or like the Oak Long Bar or whatever. But I used to go there before COVID happened, like in 2019 all the time, and it was like one of my favorite bars. I think they go there in Gossip Girl like at the New York version, but it has like a really like New York feel. It's like very grand, like tall ceilings. You feel like super classy when you're in there, and I feel like people go there and everyone's wearing like suits and like their like work outfits, and you feel like
I was
feel like a grown up.
100% underdressed.
We were like vibing there. I know Abby was like, she was texting me before. She's like, hey, I just put on like self tanner. My hair is in a bun. Do you think that's fine? And I was like, yeah, that's perfect. And we got there, and she was like, I shouldn't have.
I literally had no makeup on. I smelled like freaking self tanner. If you know, you know.
Oh, I hate that smell.
I hate it too. But whatever. Like. It was a freaking, I don't know what day of the week. It was a Monday.
It was a Monday night. Yeah, I don't know why we did that. We, instead of recording, we went there. But we, speaking of self-tanners, like a quick aside. So we were going to the Grand the other weekend, and one of our guy friends, Chad, like he came up to me and he like sniffs my arm, and he's like, you kind of smell like self-tanner.
No.
How embarrassing is that? It's like
how
the worst.
Does he know?
He was like sitting right next to me, and he was like,
but he knew
kind of
that it was
like
self-tanner?
Like he knew. He was like, you smell like self-tanner. Like I feel like the boys are figuring out that the very specific smell. And you know when like you put it on and right away you're like, oh, like it smells nice. And then like 2 hours later, you're like, oh no.
You
and
smell like a burnt pretzel.
It's the worst. Like I can't even describe what it is, but it's a disgusting, like it's horrible smell. It's like chemicals and whatever. So then I was like dousing myself in perfume, and then he was like, no, now the perfume's too strong. And I was like, well shit, like I can't win. I was like, honestly, who cares? We're going to the Grand. It's fine.
Oh God.
I'm in a relationship. Michael has to deal with it. No one else does.
I know. But if you do go there, order the bee's knees. It comes in the cutest little like Pooh Bear cup, and it comes with like a little honey wand with like actual honey in it.
Yes, and
it was very Insta-worthy.
It's made with gin, so if you want to get on your Bombay bullshit, then definitely order it.
And order it anyways, because it's intimidating because it's gin, but it actually tastes good, I promise.
Yeah, it was like the perfect level of sweet, and like, yeah, I don't know. It was cute. So anyways,
yeah.
What?
So when we were there, I don't know what like prompted this, but Okay, so I'll preface this for anyone new
We've had
here.
a few drinks.
Keep in mind, Shannon and I are both in a relationship. Neither of us have
With
dating
each other.
apps. With each other,
But also with like boyfriends.
No, our boyfriends are dating each other.
Yeah, that's true. We actually might have
They're in a
twisted.
bromance. Oh my God. And so do you remember what prompted?
Honestly, we were just talking about it, and Abby and I were sitting there, and we've been talking a lot on the show about, summertime sadness. No, just kidding. Summertime romances and like just people like getting out there, being on dating apps, whatever. And we've had like so many conversations with our girlfriends about how they're like, oh my God, I hate going on dating apps. They suck. All men are the same. It's so stupid. And we were sitting there and I was like, Abby, when's the last time we were on a dating app? And she was like
1995.
Yeah, I was like, I don't know, when I was like coming out of the womb, like I'm not sure. So we were like, we need to just like see what's out there, and like how can we really talk about these things unless we like really know for ourselves.
Right.
So anyways, we put our detective hats on and we texted our boyfriends and we were like, hey, we're going to create a dating profile. Don't worry, this is not a breakup text. we put a fake name and threw up a bunch of random pictures of us.
If Sophia from Southie, who works in public relations, matched with you, you've been catfished. You've been bamboozled. It was in fact your Boston baddie.
I know. If Sophia, who works in public relations, who went to Columbia University,
is that what you put? Columbia?
Yeah, Columbia. So all these people are messaging us. They're like, oh, like my brother went to Columbia. I was like, oh shit. But anyways, so it's a fake profile. You've been catfished, and we are not matching with anyone.
No,
as we told our boyfriends, but
strictly for research purposes. We did not match with anyone. We were just there to browse everyone's profiles.
We are basically detectives at this point. So I'm gonna imagine we should have made her job detective.
Oh, I wanted to put in the bio if you made it this far. Link in bio.
Oh, true. But we literally so it was Hinge, and on Hinge you can do like the prompts, and we like every prompt was like, what, like, you like me if it's like you like to get drinks after work, and like one thing funny about me is drinks after work is a good podcast. Like,
we made
the guys are probably like, fuck this girl.
We also picked the prompt something about get to know me, and we said don't.
Oh, if you want to get to know me, I just wrote don't.
Yeah.
So anyways, scary profile. So we went on there, and what we wanted to do is just compile a list of things that we noticed that we had, some slight visceral reactions to, and we were like, this needs to end. Yeah. So like, there's a lot of things out there that boys are doing where like, not to like hate on you. I mean, boys and girls have different strengths and weaknesses. Like that's guys like taking pictures and knowing how to not be creepy, but also not be weird online. It's not something that naturally comes to them. Girls are a little bit, I would think, better. And for the most part,
I think girls put more effort into their dating profile.
Girls can just post a bunch of fire pictures and they don't need to even say anything.
Yeah, but why is it so hard to make a Hinge profile? Because that took us like 20 minutes.
Yes,
can we talk about that?
I think because like Hinge's whole thing is like this app is like made to be one day deleted. So the algorithm is like get to know you as much as we can so that you're actually finding people that have things in common with you, versus Tinder where it's like post one bikini pic and that's all you need to know and just swipe. But it did take us like 25 minutes to make it. It was really annoying. It's like asking me like my political thoughts drink? And I was like, I don't know anything. Do I smoke? Do I drink? But yeah, so we wanted to put together a list of things that we liked and also things that we didn't like that need to be stopped immediately. So
if you're listening to this and we mention you and you may want to reevaluate your profile.
Yeah, I feel like it'll get more girls to slide in.
Yeah, and if you guys are listening to this and you want to send us your dating profile, we can review it,
we'd love to review it,
tell you which pictures need to go, which ones you should add from your Instagram, and what prompts need to go, because there's a lot of prompts that I use.
That's a great point, Abby. Yeah, so if you guys are men listening to this, send us your dating profiles and we'll review them. All right, what do we got?
Okay, let's start off with height, because I feel like this is a sensitive subject for the boys.
I know. It's sensitive for every boy. I get it. And I'm not one to ever shame height.
No.
Like I've met some very attractive men that are like 5'7", 5'8". I think they're extremely attractive. They do well with the ladies.
Their personality makes up for the height that they don't have.
And you know what they're not doing is they're not lying.
Correct.
About how tall they are.
Yeah, if you are 5'11", you're 5'9", and if you're 6 foot, you're 5'11". And just stop lying, because I'm going to share with you guys something that I do for my dear friend who is single on dating apps. I fact check a lot of guys for her. So, okay, man, please don't come for me for this. But reason why you need to not lie about your height is if you are posting any type of sport profile, or honestly, you don't really need to say much because my FBI skills, I can probably figure it out anyways, regardless of whether or not.
Yeah, you figure out some weird shit.
Yeah, regardless of whether or not you're posting about like a sport that you did in college or high school. I hope you're not posting about high school, but in college, yeah, I know that's a red flag. Okay, your college sport roster.
Oh, yeah.
All I have to do is just type in your name, type in your college and the sport that you played, and what will pull up?
Your height.
Your height on your roster.
Obviously.
And boom, I know that you are 2 inches shorter than you said on your
every
Hinge
time.
profile.
You know what's the worst height? And that's a really good one, Abby. Every girl should be doing that, and every guy should. Don't say you haven't been warned. Mm-hmm. The worst ones are the 5'10" and 5'11". Mm-hmm. Those are the worst. Because whenever a guy writes that he's 5'10" or 5'11", he's usually like 5'8". 100%
maybe.
He may be 5'9", but typically 5'8". And he's writing 5'10" or 5'11" because they're counting on the fact that there's bitches like me that are 5 foot who have no idea the difference between 5'8" and 5'10". So they're like, oh, this sounds good. If a guy's actually 5'10" or 5'11", he's writing that he's 6 foot. Every time. Because they're like, oh, it's close enough to 6 foot. But like 5'10", 5'11", you're probably 5'8", 100%. So honestly, I know there's some girls out there that are annoying about heights, and I get it for girls that are taller, right? So like if you're taller and you're like, I want the guy to be taller than me, that's fine.
And like you want to wear heels.
There's some bitches out there that are like 5'2", and they're like, I need my man to be like 6'5". It's like, screw off. Like date a regular size guy, it's fine. But I feel like if girls are gonna be kind of nice about that, guys, you have to stop lying about it, because we're gonna see you on that first date and we're gonna be like, he lied.
Exactly. If you even make it to a first date, if I catch you, because literally I do have a friend who cares a lot about her height, like about like the guy that she's talking to height, because she's a little bit taller and like she loves to wear heels all the time, so she wants a guy that's 6 foot minimum, which is fine. Like that just like narrows down the pool for you. That's her own business, but she will send me guys and I will fact check them.
Classic.
And I've caught a few.
I love it. Okay, next one. So on Hinge, there's prompts. So one of the prompts that was a guy wrote this. You wrote, I'll pick the topic if you start the conversation. I don't know. I just like, don't like that.
I think that what prompts you pick say a lot about you and how you answer those prompts. So if you're picking, I'll pick the I'll pick the topic if you start the conversation, you are automatically showing that you can't take initiative and or that you're lazy and you won't put any effort in.
Wasn't there another guy, I'm trying to find him too, where he wrote like, you tell me like where we're going on our first date. Like that was his prompt. Oh yes, Parker.
So Parker said, if you're listening, where should we go on our first date?
Yeah, he said, where should we go on our first date?
You tell me, Parker.
So here's the thing, Parker. And like, I know your intentions were in the right place. He probably was writing that to be like cute and witty. Like, oh my God, look, I'm fun. And I want her to know like, okay, you tell me where you want to go on our first date, babe. I'll take you out. Like, it'll be super fun. Like, I feel like his intentions were in the right place.
No.
Here's the thing. Girls do not want to have to make any decisions ever.
Especially if you're a Libra like myself.
Yes, we're indecisive. Mm-hmm. And part of the reason why we even talk to men is because they can help us make decisions about things when we don't want to. So you putting the pressure on me of like, where should we go on our first date? I'm going to be like, well, what type of outfit would I be wearing? And like, am I going to get a spray tan? And like, is it a place where like, should I skip lunch? Like, I don't know. And then what if I like suggest this type of place and he wants to go there? And what if he's a more casual guy? Like all this shit's running through our head. I just think like, don't open it up for a girl to have to make a decision like that, because chances are most girls are not going to slide in with a restaurant in mind. Unless they're being like sarcastic and they're like, take me to Grill 23, I mean.
I'm also judging you based off of where you would pick for the restaurant for the first date. Like, absolutely. Like, if you choose a basic restaurant, then I don't want anything to do with you. But I think back to if I'll pick the topic if you start the conversation, there's nothing worse than a guy that like is too lazy to put effort in. Like, girls want a guy that puts in the effort to talk to them, to plan a date. And if you can't do that, then you're not getting swiped. What is it, right? You swipe right on Hinge? I don't even know.
You just like them somehow.
You like them? Yeah, you're not getting liked.
I've yet to do that, so I don't know.
Okay, so those were some prompts that, you should really stay away from. If you currently have that on your Hinge profile, I would maybe reconsider it. But there were a lot of funny and honorable mentions that we did see on there. Shout out to Aaron. My favorite thing to do while social distancing. He chose that as a prompt and then proceeded to post a photo of him and 5 dudes out drinking.
Yeah,
A+ for creativity.
Hilarious.
A+ for the sense of humor. I love that. Okay, tell me what you feel about this. Matt chose the prompt, dating me is like, and then said eating a cayenne pepper.
Cayenne
Pepper.
Sometimes you never cease to amaze me.
Okay, but what do you think about that?
I thought it was funny. I liked that. I
Hot
thought it was
and spicy. Do we like a cheesy moment like that?
See, I hate cheese. I love cheese. I hate cheesiness. Like I hate when guys are cheesy, but that one was like almost kind of cute and like original. You know what I mean? I thought it was like, so this one, let's give an example of one that's not original. This guy wrote a prompt. Believe it or not, I have tattoos. Well, I didn't really know if I believed that because Tommy, I don't freaking know you, so I don't really give a shit who doesn't have tattoos. Believe it or not, I have tattoos. Like that's the most what that tells me is that that's the best you could come up with. So I'm like, oh, he must have nothing else. Like that's it. Like if that's the best you could do, then like what else are we gonna talk about?
Yeah.
One person that I think did a good job. Wait, let me find him. There were some really bad ones.
I wrote them all in that one.
You did?
For the most part.
Okay. So actually this one I liked. It said, let's make sure we're on the same page about, and then he wrote Spotify being better than Apple Music. I don't know.
I didn't see that
I kind of liked that because I feel like I could see a lot of girls replying and being like, no way, like I like Apple Music. And like, then the guy could be like, well, why do you like it? And she's like, oh, I don't know, because all of like, Taylor Swift's music on there. And he's like, well, blah, blah, blah. And like, I feel like that could like lead into a conversation. Like I could see that happening.
It could. But also, if you use Apple over Spotify, I'm not going to talk to you.
But I do like that. I like the like, okay, like this is something I'm debating. Like, what are your thoughts? Because I feel like I could see girls replying to that.
Do you think that like you should be debating on a first interaction though? Because I will win.
I feel like, I mean, obviously I'm not going to get super heated about it, but I feel like if it's like a friendly thing, like, yeah, like maybe don't put in there like, hey, like who has been like the best president over the past 10 years.
I feel like there are people out there that would put something that's not like controversial, but like kind of serious.
Yeah, don't do that. I think it should always be playful.
Yeah.
If you can like ask a question as a guy and like it's playful and it's like, okay, like whatever, like debating these two things, like yeah, Apple and Spotify, it's one of those things where people like get heated about, but in like a joking way. Like no one actually gives a shit what you listen to music on, something like that. But yeah, definitely nothing serious.
Okay, Matt, I know the best spot in town for a cheeseburger that'll change your life. That's bold of you to assume that I eat meat, Matthew.
But I like it.
That is bold. That is very bold. I don't know. A cheeseburger on a first date?
Yeah, I mean, but I'm intrigued. Like I want to know what I want to know what cheeseburger would change my life. I feel like
smash burger.
I don't know.
Honestly, maybe food is his love language. So that's good to know.
Okay, so one guy that kind of took a similar approach, James, he wrote my greatest strength, and then he put picking restaurants. I love that.
A+.
That was A+.
Heart.
Because if I'm a girl and I see that, then I'm like, all right, like I want to heart this guy because I just want to know like what he would pick. And now I can go into it confidently, feeling like if we did go on a date together, then I'm going to go to a fun place. I'm going to have a lot of fun because he seems like an expert.
And he's going to put in the effort.
Yes.
Okay.
100%.
What about, another Matt said, all I ask is that you are ready to go to a bunch of weddings this year. That sounds horrible. Is that just me?
I feel like part of me was like
really think about it, Matt.
Yeah. First reaction, I was like, oh, that's kind of fun. But then my second reaction was like, that's a hell of a lot of money that I'm spending on dresses.
Are you going to be paying for all of my outfits and my hair and my nails and my shoes? Are you going to be paying for everything? Also, are you just going to like ditch me after all the weddings?
Yeah, I know. I completely agree. I think that one could go either way. I don't hate it. One that I did hate, someone wrote, the key to my heart is good writing and conversations. I just feel like that's a little too like weird and deep for me. Like maybe you're trying to tell me that you're an intellectual. That's
maybe
fine.
for you, maybe for another girl.
Maybe for a different type of girl. For me, no.
That's good though, because then he's weeding out the girls like you that think that's weird.
That don't want to have conversations or write anything down or read.
Exactly. Okay, wait. Ross, my mantra is we were on a break.
I love it.
Red flag, red flag, red flag, red flag. I don't care that it came from friends.
But that's why he's saying it.
Is he a cheater, pumpkin eater?
No, it's probably because he knows that girls love Friends. So he's like, I'm going to pick something from that show so that the girl's going to be like, oh my God, no, screw Ross. Rachel is right.
He could have said pivot. That's from Friends.
I don't even know what that is.
Well, you're not a true fan. You're not a true fan of Friends. I don't know. I think it could be a red flag. I think he should have reconsidered that before he did it.
That was like the most iconic thing of the show, though.
Yeah, but the uncertainty and the risk that Ross.
Maybe he picked it because he agreed with Ross.
Wait, it's kind of funny that his name is Ross.
Yeah, that's why he picked it.
Oh. Oh.
Ross. I get where you're coming from, though. I mean, yeah.
Oh my God, because Ross said it in Friends.
Yeah, so it's his mantra because his name is Ross.
I get it.
No, but I guess
Ross also did say pivot though in Friends.
I get where you're coming from because I think as a man, you do have to be careful about what you're displaying on your profile, and we'll get to this later with like posting pictures like with girls and like whatever, and saying things that are kind of come off as playerish, because girls pick up on that stuff and they're like, ew. If you really are a player, then maybe just like keep that in your back pocket if you're trying to impress the ladies, at least in the beginning. But yeah, I think that one was just funny, but I get where you're coming from.
Okay.
Another guy said, I geek out on science, bookshops, and puzzles. Sorry.
Science bookshop. That's cute.
No, it's cute. I just feel like I just don't want that to be put out there.
No.
Like, okay, so think of it this way. I feel like not like we're obviously giving very specific examples. The ones that impressed me were ones that could start a conversation. I feel like sometimes guys don't know.
They suck at talking.
They say like those guys that were putting like, I just want to meet a girl that like I can treat like a princess forever and like you'll be my queen, and like sure, like that's nice, like fine, but what is a girl going to say back to that? Because the whole point is you want a girl to respond to whatever you wrote. So if I see that, am I going to be like, OMG, like can't wait, or like, oh baby, like I don't know. You almost want to say something that prompts a response and get someone to be like, oh my God, that's so hilarious, like I've been there, or like, no, like that wasn't the best, whatever. Like,
I like James, who said dating me will look like, and then he put a picture of him outside of DQ with the blizzard in his hand. Like, I just love that because one, bitches love blizzards, especially if you bring them one when they're in bed PMSing. But I feel like that is like a response. You could be like, oh my God, like what's your favorite ice cream flavor? Yeah. You know?
No,
and
I
also like
agree.
That like
it
shows that he's fun. Like,
and he's like lighthearted. Like he's not scared. A lot of the guys were like, you can tell you're trying to put your best foot forward, but I feel like when you're confident enough to be like, here's a picture of me in front of Dairy Queen, like I think that's funny. One thing I did not like, a guy said, you should leave a comment if, and then it was, you share a passion for health and fitness. Bonus points if you run or play soccer. Like, excuse me, like what type of profiling are you doing, sir?
He's very selective.
I just feel like he's
no time.
Full of himself, and obviously every picture is like him just topless, and I'm like, okay, dude,
Ew.
sick. Like, good for you.
Okay, Tom, this one is a funny one. Fact about me that surprises people. He picked that prompt and he followed that with women, and I guarantee he didn't come up with this himself, just preface that.
Just
women usually call me ugly until they find out how much money I make. Then they call me ugly and poor. I thought that was funny.
No, that is funny. I like,
because I bet he's not actually poor, but it's just funny. Honestly, key to a girl's heart is I feel like
being funny,
humor.
witty. It's witty
like, and food.
You're trying a little bit, but like not trying so hard. Another guy, one that I liked, he wrote so first round is on me if, and then he wrote, you can guess my doppelganger. I liked that because that like opens up a conversation. So I mean, I was like,
am I reading into these too deep? Because literally I hate that prompt because you should be buying the first round regardless.
Oh yes, but I almost feel like it was like making way for a girl to be like, oh my God, like, is it this person? Or like, oh, is it that person?
Yeah.
It just like opens up a conversation. But yes, I agree. You should be buying the first 100% no matter what. Without
I
question.
look into things too deep.
Yeah, I know. Well, obviously like Hinge gives you the prompts though.
That's true.
So like the prompt was like first drink on me if, and it was because of that. One guy I thought was also really, really funny. It said unusual skills. He wrote forgetting to drink water for 2 days.
Oh, relatable.
I thought that was so funny because I was like, that's so relatable.
That is very
And I feel like if I was interested in him, I'd reply and be like, oh my God, so I'm not the only one that does this. And there you go.
Boom.
Boom.
Okay. Well, men, just maybe after this episode, go back onto your Hinge profile, look at the 3 prompts that you've chosen, and maybe just reconsider editing them or choosing a different prompt. Again, send us your prompts if you want, and we can help you out.
Yes. Again, the key is to be kind of witty and like give us the vibe that you're fun. And also just like think of prompts that could open up a conversation.
Right.
So you don't need to like put your whole, life story on the line, but just like say something playful where girls don't like making the first move. No. So a girl isn't going to reply to you and be like, OMG, you're so hot. Bumble. That's not, yeah. Mm-hmm. We don't really love that. So girls feel much more comfortable and like making the first move or saying something to you when a prompt is given that they feel comfortable being like, oh my gosh, I do that too. Or, oh my gosh, I love that place. So just keep that in mind. Okay. Okay, now onto the photos.
Yes. Okay. There are some cringy photos that people select to put out on the internet. I think you need to be careful about the photos that you choose to showcase. Let's start off with the photos with another girl.
Okay. This is a big one, I feel like.
Yeah, because we saw a couple of them and I'm like, okay, is that your sister, your cousin, your ex-girlfriend, your current girlfriend? Like, who is this girl that you're posting a picture with? Like, there was one guy it was literally just him and one other girl, and I'm like,
and she was like kind of pretty.
Yeah, but
and
like
what?
And they had their arm around each other, and I'm like, if I have to guess who that girl is, just don't post it. Don't use it.
Yeah, no, I 100% agree. I think. Depends on like what vibe you're going for, but if you're posting a picture on a dating app and like there's a girl like relatively like the same age as us in it, unless it's like a family photo, which I also still think maybe no to a family photo, but unless it's a family photo, like don't just post a picture with
obviously,
like one girl. I think it looks weird. It looks like that's your girlfriend, or it looks like, even worse, it looks like you're posting a picture of like your ex-girlfriend, and then I'm thinking like, ugh, like why does this guy still have pictures of his ex-girlfriend? Like that's weird.
And don't post a picture of a girl and then X out her face, because then we know that it's your ex-girlfriend.
Or they put the stupid, I saw a bunch of guys put like emojis over the girl's face, and it's like a picture of them blatantly going to like a wedding and there's like an X over her face, and I'm like, okay,
we know what you're doing.
We know.
Honestly,
just get some new material, get some new photos.
What do you think though about pictures with their mom? Do you think that's like cute, or is it kind of could be a red flag? Is it genuine? What?
I think it can be cute. I think you have to be careful with it. I think your first picture should be a picture of just you.
Absolutely.
I want to know whose profile this is.
Yep.
And I want to know that it's like, I want to see your face, and I don't want you to be wearing like sunglasses and a hoodie and a turtleneck and a mask. Like I want it to be just your face. I want to know what you look like. I think maybe like on picture like 3 or 4, if you want to mix in a photo with like your mom or your parents like at dinner or like something like that, I think that's fine, but maybe not like the very first photo with your mom, because I'm not
even talking first photo. So where I'm coming from in my head, because I overanalyze everything, because I'm like, I have a toxic brain. So you know the saying like, how they treat their mom is how they're going to treat you.
Yeah.
Like everyone knows that saying. So is this guy posting a picture of his mom to pretend
prove a point?
Yeah, like to prove a point? Like, does he actually treat his mom like shit? Does he treat his mom nicely? There are men out there that are assholes, and they definitely. So I'm just like, is this a red flag? Like, is he trying to cover up something? Like, is he?
Well, or like, I think I would more wonder, like, is he posting this to like show that he's this like really, really good guy and wants the girl to think like, oh my God, that's so
family
cute.
Man.
Like he's a family man.
There could be two reasons behind it.
Yeah, I'm 100%. I think it's the same shit with like the the pictures of like the dog. Like I feel like guys know that girls go crazy for like a guy that's really good with his family and a guy that's, you know, oh my God, like he's a dog, or oh my God, like he's so good with his nephews, like whatever. And I feel like guys use that to their advantage. I'm a little bit more of a cynical person. So when I see, like if I go on your profile and like every picture is you, like one picture with like a baby and the next picture of you like doing charity work, and then the next picture like in Uganda, and then the next picture is of you like your family, and you're like, oh my God, like the people that raised me, like there might be a part of me that's like, like are you trying to just get in a girl's pants by seeming like you're a great guy? Right. But I also do know there's a lot of girls out there that do fall for that shit, and it works, which is why guys do it. True. So
I know, but back to what you're saying, I think you need to post photos that make it easy to identify who you are, because there were times when we were scrolling through these guys' profiles and we're getting to the fourth picture and you don't know who Chad is.
No, you have no idea. And it's worse when they post like the same friend like 3 times in a row. You never want, and like this is something that I feel like, again, I do feel bad for the guys because they just don't have as many photos as the girls do. So maybe a lot of them are group shots, but try to take a few good photos of just you, because if I'm scrolling through a dating profile and it's just you with your boys in every photo, every single girl is going to hope that you are the hot friend. Every single one. So unless you are like blatantly like the freaking best looking guy there, like you're 6'2", tall, dark, and handsome and have like everything going for you, fine. Like post as many group photos as you want. I mean, you probably should be posting your own photos too if you're that good looking, but fine. Like if you're like the, you know, maybe 4th runner-up in the friend group in terms of looks, like don't post the group photos, because every girl's gonna be disappointed when she realizes that she is not talking to the like alpha, and she's gonna be like, oh shit, it's like the dweeby friend. Even if you're
right, it sounds mean, but it's true. And I feel like guys do the same thing with girls.
It's 100%. You're always hoping it's the hot girl, which is why girls usually post their group photos later, and they'll post like the first 3 just of them, so it's very clear like who they are, and then they're like, oh my God, by the way, I have friends. By the way. But you could literally be a good looking guy, but if your friends are hotter than you, then the girl's going to be disappointed. Like that's just the way our brains work. So definitely try to make sure the first few are of you.
Yeah, I agree. One thing that I hate to see on there, there's 2 things I hate to see on there. Gym photos and pictures of like model photos. Like you have the pretty boys on there that will literally post like a headshot from their like photo shoot that they paid for, and like they're trying to make it as a model. That's fine. Live out your dream offline. Keep it off Hinge. I don't want to see a picture of your headshot. And like it's not realistic. And also like I don't want to date a guy that's into his looks more than I'm into my own looks.
Also, this like by the way, this sounds like we're attacking the men. This goes for girls too. I don't want like if you're on Hinge, like don't be like posting a bunch of like model photos of you like scampering around the city wearing like weird model, like it's obviously like headshot type photos. I think that's weird for either gender. But yes, 100% back to the gym thing. It's fine if you like going to the gym. I like going to the gym.
Even though dad bods are in, just an FYI.
That's fine. Like if you like to go and work out to look good, good for you. I would rather see like the final product. So like maybe you out doing something, or even if you have to, like you at the beach or you at the bar, whatever.
At the beach,
I don't need to see the act of you working out. Like I get it. You work out. That's why you have the 6-pack. You don't need to rub it in my face and be like, here's my gym selfie where I'm like, ugh, when they like pull up their shirts to show their abs like in the gym mirror selfie, and then they're like doing the duck face. Like I literally want to take my phone and crash it into the ground, watch it burn, jump out the window, punch someone in the face. Like that's how I feel.
You really have seen duck faces on guys?
Yes.
I've seen the lifting the shirt up, but I've never seen a duck. Regardless, I agree with what you said.
They make that stupid face. Well, you know that stupid face they make where like, they almost look like they're taking a shit. They're like I can't wait. I'm trying to do it. It's like they like clench their eyebrows in, and they're like, ew, yeah. They kind of like lift up their like they're like it looks like they're confused or constipated. I don't know what it is, but it's like they get this look in their face. I'm like, no, stop,
knock it off.
No.
Okay, so gym photos are no. You can flex that you have a nice body. Post a picture of you at the beach. Do not post a picture of you at the gym.
If you're a professional athlete, and
I don't care. CrossFit, leave it off.
No. If you're a professional athlete and there's like a picture of you in your jersey once, and it's something you still do, fine. Like a few photos in, but like not not the gym selfies.
No.
Or honestly, I'm gonna argue, I don't really like to see a lot of selfies in general from men. I don't love
selfies? No.
No
It
selfies.
needs to be an actual photo taken of you. I don't care if you're the only person in the picture. Don't post a selfie.
Yeah.
Or a headshot. Also, okay, so this goes to guys that are 25 and above. If you're posting photos that were taken in college, you need to get more friends, find a life, get a better social life. There's no excuse to be that many years post grad and to not have at least 3 photos that you could post on your Hinge profile that are current.
Exactly. And like,
because you were probably better looking in college. You probably peaked in college and now you look a little bit different. So I want the current version of you. Thank you.
Yes. And like, if you are, because again, like I know we're saying this and like, there's gonna be people out there and they're like, like I don't like go out and take pictures like you bitches do every weekend. I get that. So fine, if there's like 1 or 2 pictures that are like from college, but it's not obvious that it's from college, fine. What I've seen is I've seen people's prom pictures. I've seen people's like pictures in their cap and gown. Like if you're 25 or 26, I do not want to see a picture of you in your cap and gown. Like if you took the picture on graduation, fine, and like you're not wearing any of the shit and people can't tell, fine. Like I get it, you're not a big picture taker, but like not in the cap and gown.
I think if you took photos in college, leave them off. That's my opinion. I think you need to get a more active social life or a better group of friends that will take pictures. Like how many times have we taken boys photos for the guys?
All the time.
So they have photos.
We always, and you know what's funny is like
there should be no excuse.
They kind of realize how much they like it, and now they'll be like, oh yeah, guys, can you take a picture of us? Like, well, it doesn't have to be like a stupid one. It can be like we're at the bar and just take a picture of the guy with a drink and he's like smiling. Photo in Miami and like
all the guys.
Exactly.
Always.
At a sporting event, like you're at the Pats game and someone snaps a picture of you, boom, there's 3. And then the rest of them can be, skiing, and then the rest of them can be group ones. Like, that's fine.
If Mr. Man and I ever break up, I already know what photos he's going to use on his Hinge profile because, like, he has some good ones.
I thought you were going to say, I already know what photos I'm going to use. And I was like, I know what photos you're going to use too, babe.
Because we use them on Sophia's account. No, I'm kidding.
Oh, classic. But yeah, so again, I think just put a little bit of effort in, and I promise you, if you do, it will pay off. Another thing that I'm not loving is a lot of like weird blurry photos. I don't like that. Going back to, like, you can't really like see your face. It's like a side shot. Like I can't really like identify who you are. Like if I get like a creepy vibe from you, no. Going hand in hand with the creepy thing, kind of back to the gym thing. I saw a guy just post like his last picture was just of his abs, like no face, just abs. Like that makes me feel like if I match with you, the next picture I'm gonna get from you is gonna be a dick pic. So no, just don't do it. If you give off a creepy vibe on your profile, girls typically don't like that.
Absolutely.
If you are creepy, that's fine. Like if you're the creepiest creeper, it's fine. But just make your profile a little bit like warm, fuzzy, like fuzzy, witty, stuff like that. Yeah, I don't know. Do you have anything else for pictures, or did we pretty much cover it?
No, I think that's it. I think the last thing that we could end on is I know Hinge gives you the option to put your political affiliation, but like why?
Why? I don't want to see your political affiliation.
That's weird. It's a turnoff. It's not a turnoff that you are Republican or Democrat or whatever it is. Independent. Or an independent. It's a turnoff that you are so hardcore about your political affiliation that you need to include it in your bio. It's not necessary.
Yes, I get it. There's people that are like, well, these days politics matter to so many people, so you want to put it out there before you get to know the person. Like, I get it. But honestly, even if you aligned with my political affiliation and I saw that you put it on there, I probably wouldn't like that.
Exactly. I think we don't talk about politics, sex, or religion on this podcast, and I feel like those are the 3 things that you just don't talk about on a first date. So
you can usually figure it out too after talking to the person.
Yeah, you can figure it out, and 2, like, it's just not necessary. It shouldn't be talked about right out of the get-go. So
the other thing with that too, because there's like a bunch of things you can fill out on Hinge. Religion, I don't hate it. Like if you're like, oh, I want to put that I'm Jewish or Christian or whatever, fine, I guess that's fine. one thing that I think is a little weird is I've seen like a lot of girls put like spiritual. I feel like that's weird. What does that mean that you're spiritual? Like, or do you believe in something? Is that a religion? Because I know a lot of people like for example, there might be someone that's like, I'm Jewish, I wouldn't ever date someone that's not Jewish. Like, I get that. What does spiritual mean? I just feel like if you're gonna put something on there, you're putting it on there to prove a point. Like, so you're putting like, oh, like I like to drink, because there's some people that don't drink, and you're not gonna go on a date with someone that is a big drinker if you're sober. I get that. You're gonna put it on there for a reason, but if you're just putting like, oh, I'm spiritual, like what are you trying to get accomplished? I feel like that just kind of makes you look like a weirdo, personally. It might be bitchy, but
no, keep it off there. Just keep it off. If you guys have any questions, comments, concerns about your dating profile, again, send them our way. DM us on Instagram. It's @drinksafterwork_. We will gladly respond back with some things that you might want to change or edit, and maybe we'll comment on a photo that you should post on your Hinge profile.
I agree. I think biggest takeaways from this are, photos, a few of yourself, make them clear, a few of like you smiling, not the creepy constipated face, and like look like you're a fun person. Like if there's a picture of you traveling to Europe, like post that, like whatever. Like girls want to know that you're well-rounded, you're fun, you're approachable, make your prompts witty, make them open up conversations. Honestly, you could be listening to this and you're like, oh, like I'm not the tallest guy or I'm not the most attractive guy. It doesn't matter. Girls love guys with great personalities, and if they feel like your profile is welcoming, they're going to like your profile, even if like maybe you're not a 10 out of 10. So keep those things in mind. Sorry if we seem like we're bashing you. We're trying to help.
It's a lot of love. It's tough.
We're trying to get all the Boston baddies out there to just date each other this summer. And if that means that we have to be the bad guys, then that's what we're going to do.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah, baby. And also women, we're coming for you too soon. So
ooh,
just
we're going to go undercover. Are we going to be Chad?
Imagine
or maybe we just take their phones for a day.
Okay. I think I like either of those options. I kind of love the idea of us creating like a fake profile though. Yeah. And we can be like the douchiest Chad and Brad out there.
I love that.
Okay. Well, more coming on that. But guys, that's all we have for you this week. Thank you again for bearing with us. We love you so freaking much. Honestly, we were looking forward to coming in and recording tonight because we didn't get to do it on Monday. But if you are listening to this on Apple, please leave us a rating and review. Honestly, every time you do it, Abby starts crying. She FaceTimes me. It's like a really amazing, beautiful moment. So if you want that to keep happening, definitely just give us 5 stars.
Yeah, and if you're on YouTube, subscribe, give us a thumbs up, leave us a comment, Spotify, subscribe. Also, turn on your post notifications so that you guys don't have to rely on our Instagram stories to know if we are uploading late. You will just get a notification on your phone when the episode drops.
And this week, if you are listening and you are struggling with matching with people online and you want advice from a girl's point of view, or if one of your boys is newly single and he has no idea what he's doing, he has no photos, send us over their information. We'll help you guys out. We want to make sure that everyone is going on dates this summer. Everyone's meeting people right before cuffing season. That is all for this week, but we love you guys so freaking much, and we will see you next week.
Cheers.
Bye.